I think people will like it as sort of a throwback maybe to the Workbook album, which is a record that I put out in '89, and people were very fond of that record. And this record's interesting. It's got, as time goes on, I'm incorporating so many different things into my work now that I've, the past 6, 7 years been experimenting with electronica, and I've got a DJ gig in this project Blow Off, and been bringing some of that electronic stuff into my work. There's a lot of guitars on this record. I think if people liked Body of Song, they'll enjoy this record. There's maybe it's a little more down, I think. I don't know. I'm the worst. I'm the worst one to ask. I'm sure the critics will come up with some great epiphany for me to recite later. Yeah, it's mostly, it's very personal stories. Again, like with Body of Song, stories involving me, involving my friends in DC where I live. Yeah, it's real simple stuff. I mean, my life is sort of small these days. I try to keep it very much about my neighborhood and where I can walk to shop and the people that are really important to me. I have, a few close friends and a lot of acquaintances in DC, and I think it's reflected in this record. I think in this day and age where everything is so, MySpacey or, internet-y, what do you really believe kind of thing. At the end of the day, for me, my life is about the things I can touch and feel and breathe and be with, and that's really what informs me. I mean, there's a lot of information floating around, and, when I look into somebody's eyes and I can see what they're saying to me, that's the stuff I understand. So maybe it's an old-fashioned record in that way. As time goes on, I've been really fortunate to, as I started branching out with electronica or, branching out with the people in my life, has led me to a lot of different things. One thing I've been enjoying lately is the remixing. I did some remixes for Low and for Interpol. A group called VHS or Beta, Rammstein. It's been really fun. I know people were sort of scoffing at me getting into electronica maybe 5, 6 years ago, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But now, the remixing, people are asking me to do it, so I guess they like it. It's fun to have all these different things at my disposal. Even things like the theme song for The Daily Show. Having done that years ago, and that's led to other work in that field. And the next thing I guess would be, I've always been asked to score films, and I've never had the time or the interest. And now I think as I get older and traveling is less appealing, something I can do and sit at home and be with my friends and do that. That's something I look forward to this year as well. One of the things that's tough is I know people like to compartmentalize, and that was my mistake in '02 when I made Modulate, which was sort of a hybrid record, and I had the Loud Bomb record, and then I was working on the stuff that was Body of Song, and I was trying to separate it out for people, and the more I explained it, the more confused everybody got. So people just need to trust that it's my voice, it's my sensibility, it's my stories, and in this day and age, to not use all the colors of the palette and all the sounds and textures and technology that's available would be foolish. A lot of this record, the new record, it's a guitar record. I mean, there's guitars on every song. There's, electronic beats on a few songs. Most of it is, old-fashioned pop songwriting with, bass, drums, guitars, voices. People just need to listen to it and listen to the stories, and that's, at the end of the day, I think for all these years, that's what people have been coming back to. And I think time is going to prove me right, especially on the electronica side. I think it's people need to change and people need to grow, and I've found a much better balance. I think with Body of Song, I found a really good balance of guitars and my storytelling and the new tools. So I'm sort of, this record is a continuation of that to me. I have faith that the American people, I think we went so far to one side. Now that we're on the rebound and we're starting to come back to some sense of normalcy, whatever the new normal is. I think it's just we're coming back towards being humane and trying to appreciate the differences in people, and that we sort of have a common goal, and we have an incredible country, and it's so much of our goodwill and resources have been squandered, and now that I'm hoping this will come to a close. In November with the elections, all of a sudden the flag waving stopped, because for 5 years now, for better or worse, people have been mesmerized. There's a reason that countries have flags, and there's a reason that you wave them. It's and for 5 years it was pretty much to cover up the truth. People were watching this and they were mesmerized, and they were kept scared and kept confused, and that's patriotism is important, but when it's misguided, it's a brutal thing. And now I just hope we can have a little bit more humanity again, because that's where it all starts. I mean, it's for common people like me, it's the small stuff in life. For people who have a cause and have the energy and the focus to change things, that's great. Politics moves very slowly, but inside our own lives, we can make changes pretty quickly that affect at least people around us. I think that's where my politics are.
That broken heart, but believing still, yeah. If I can't change your mind, then no one will. I know. If I can't change your mind.